Hi, thank you for joining me. My name is Pooh, and I'm excited that you're here. Today I'm going to break down what the 10 Commandments are and address if they're still relevant in today's society. The Holy Bible's 10 Commandments originated in one of the 5 books of the law, within the book of Exodus chapter 20. When God brought his people out of Egypt, he gave Moses the 10 Commandments as a provision, a foundation of how his people should live. This is a covenant between God and his people. In Exodus 19:5, it says, "Now, therefore, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, you shall be my treasured possession among all peoples, for all the earth is mine, and you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words that you shall speak to the people of Israel." A great way to visualize the 10 Commandments is to imagine you're a parent, and after some observation of your children, you discover that you need to lay out some house rules or ground rules on behavior. I'll use myself as an example, and I'll share 3 of my house rules. One of them is be respectful of your parents, grandparents, yourselves, and others. Another one is no electronic devices at the table while eating. And the last one I'll share is return items back to their place of origin. While many may see these rules as common sense, others may not. So, for clarity, I let my family know what the expectations are in our home. This is much like what God has done with the 10 Commandments. He is informing his children of the ground rules, his expectations. So let's go over those commands in Exodus chapter 20. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. You shall not bow down to them or serve them. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Honor your father and your mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. And last, you shall not covet anything that is your neighbor's. Now that we know what the 10 Commandments are and where to locate them within our Bible, let's go ahead and address the second question. Are the 10 Commandments still relevant today? The short and simple answer to this is yes. Now, this answer may not be what you were expecting. You may be saying, well, didn't Jesus do away with the 10 Commandments in the New Testament? The short and simple answer to this is no. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let's go directly to what Jesus said. In Matthew 5:17 through 20, he says, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly, I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, not a dot, will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever relaxes one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. but whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Now, for my scholars out there that are shaking your heads in disapproval and screaming, what about Matthew 22:36 through 38? Well, I'm super excited that you brought that up. Let's take a look at that now. There it says, Teacher, what is the great command in the law? And he said to him, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend all the law and the prophets. Taken at surface level, I can understand how someone could misinterpret this as meaning there are only 2 commands now, not 10. So let's break this down. Let's calculate this out. When the 10 commandments were originally scribed by Moses, they were on 2 stone tablets. The first 4 commands on the first tablet, and the remaining 6 commands on the second tablet. We are going to look back at Exodus 20 and compare it with Matthew 22. Okay, so if we place the first 4 commands on one tablet, this is what we have. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven or above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. You shall not bow down to them or serve them. You shall not take the name the Lord your God in vain. And remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. On the second tablet, we're then left with these. Honor your father and your mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. And you shall not covet anything that is your neighbor's. Now that we have the commandments split into 2 parts, let's add the greatest commandment, the first one, and the second greatest commandment to the equation. We will put the greatest commandment on the first tablet. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. And on the second tablet, we'll place the second greatest command. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Now let's evaluate. If we follow the greatest command to love the Lord our God with all of our hearts, souls, and mind, then we would unquestionably follow the first 4 commandments, as these all relate to how much we love, honor, respect, and obey God. By following the first 4 commandments, we are effortlessly following the greatest command, and vice versa. The exact same holds true with the remaining 6 commands. If we love our neighbors as we love ourselves, we will without a doubt obey all of these commands. The only thing Jesus did here was summarize the commands into 2 parts. If you follow the greatest command, you have checked off the first 4 commands. If you follow the second greatest command, you've checked off the remaining 6 commands. Let's not forget that Jesus said, I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. I pray that this teaching and scripture breakdown was edifying. If you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe. Last but not least, remember, God says, my people perish due to a lack of knowledge. So let's not lack, and let's not be ignorant to Satan's devices. Be blessed.